Welcome to Chatbots and Conversational Commerce. Are you ready? The first in our 4-part webinar series, 2020, The Future of Marketing. First, a quick mention of who we are. We're SilverTech, a digital marketing agency and technology company. We've been in the digital space since 1996. We have more than 75 crew members engaged in more than 80 active projects across a variety of industries. Our goal is to redefine how organizations understand their audience and the entire customer journey. It's a process we call Lead to Loyal. It's powered by intuitive design and a seamless sharing of data across the main marketing technology platforms, your content management system, marketing automation platform, and CRM. Here's a look at the agenda. First, we'll cover a brief history of chatbots. Then we'll discuss the idea that bots represent the beginning of a new internet. We'll share a story about a popular bot in China called Xiaowai's. Then we'll share some examples of organizations already using bots. And we'll wrap things up with a discussion of how you can get started with bots today. Increasingly, whether it's on Facebook Messenger, Slack, Kik, or WhatsApp, which combined have a user base of more than 1 billion, we're interacting with chatbots. Bots are performing a variety of tasks for us, from weather updates to traffic alerts, and even holding full conversations. The possibilities are endless. Facebook and many other tech giants, including our partners at HubSpot, are betting big that within a year or two, bots will be responsible for many of our customer service interactions and will change how we buy online. According to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, people-to-people conversations, people-to-digital assistants, people-to-bots, that's the world you're going to see in the years to come. In fact, Gartner predicts that by 2020, the average person will have more conversations with bots than with their spouse. The definition of a chatbot. It's a program designed to mimic human-to-human interaction via text or voice inputs. For the purposes of this talk, our focus will be on text bots, such as the tens of thousands that have been built on Facebook's Messenger platform since it launched in April of 2016. Digital assistants that are controlled by voice, such as Apple's Siri, Microsoft's Cortana, and Google Now, are a more evolved form of chatbot. We will cover these and other bots that use natural language user interfaces, UI, or skills in our next presentation in the 2020 Future of Marketing series, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. As you will hear, chatbots have been called both the new internet and the new apps. It may seem hard to believe that a relatively simple program that responds to your texts with texts that approximate the response a human would give could have such a radical impact on how your audience will interact with your organization. However, the bot revolution is well underway, and as Perna Virji, Senior Manager of Global Engagement at Microsoft, recently remarked during her presentation at Inbound 2017 on chatbots, caution is necessary, avoidance is not. The key takeaway? By 2020, customers will manage 85% of their relationship with the enterprise without interacting with a human. Let's now cover the history of chatbots. Experiments with chatbots date all the way back to the 1960s, when MIT professor Joseph Weizenbaum developed a bot named Eliza, named after the character Eliza Doolittle from Pygmalion, who you may recall was someone who rose above her class. Weizenbaum initially built Eliza to parody the responses of a non-directional psychotherapist in an initial psychiatric interview. If you were to tell Eliza that your head hurts, Eliza's response would be, "Why do you say your head hurts?" Essentially, he set out to prove that interactions between humans and computers would only ever work on a superficial level. But he surprised himself when he found many who interacted with Eliza began to form a recognizable emotional bond. The next major chatbot advance came in 1971 with Parry, a natural language program that was developed to simulate the responses of a paranoid individual. Parry was programmed to operate under the assumption that others must be up to no good. As odd as this program sounds, it was the first chatbot to pass the Turing test, a test developed by Alan Turing in 1950 to test a machine's ability to become indistinguishable from a human. Subjects interacting with Parry and actual human responders were unable to distinguish, with more than random accuracy, Parry's responses from those of a paranoid human. Here, interestingly, you can see a screenshot of a conversation between Parry and Eliza, with Eliza playing the part of the doctor and Parry. Chatbots such as Jabberwocky from 1988, Dr. Spasto from 1992, and Alice from 1995 continue to evolve their ability to mimic human responses and understand natural language, but the next major advance came with SmarterChild in 2001. SmarterChild's contribution to the evolution of chatbots was its ability to pull and return information from the then nascent internet. If you ever used America Online Instant Messenger, or AIM, then you might be familiar with SmarterChild. Residing within your buddy list, SmarterChild could answer your queries on stocks, movie times, and weather. Another of SmarterChild's innovations, one that can be argued as missing from many of today's AI digital assistants, was a distinct personality. As described in Motherboard's A History of SmarterChild, and displayed on the screen here, if you ask Siri, "Do you sleep?" Siri will respond, "I don't need much sleep, but it's nice of you to ask." Meanwhile, if you ask SmarterChild the same question, it would respond, "No, but I dream. I dream of a better world, a world where man and machine can coexist in peace and happiness." SmarterChild was way ahead of its time. Now SmarterChild's model of residing with AIM seems radically prescient. Business Insider reports that the first stage of the chat app revolution was focused on growth. In the next phase, companies will focus on building out services and monetizing chat apps' massive user base. As we head into 2018, we're firmly in the next phase. That is why organizations are building more and more chatbots that can reside within messaging apps. Chatbots have been called a new internet. Let's dive in and uncover what that could mean. Here's Ted Livingston of Kik. Chat apps will become to thought of the new browsers, bots will be the new websites. This is the beginning of a new internet. Of the messaging apps leading the charge in this next phase, Kik is at the forefront. With 300 million registered users, which counts approximately 40% of United States teenagers, Kik has managed to draw controversy for possibly being unsafe for minors. However, its chatbot experiments outpace those of the larger platforms. As such, CEO and founder Ted Livingston has some forward-thinking ideas about how chatbots can bring the internet alive in the real world. In a widely circulated blog post from 2016, Livingston challenged the prevailing idea that chatbots are best suited as get-things-done services or virtual assistants. Though they certainly will fill that need, Livingston and Kik see a different possibility, one where bots will let you instantly interact with the world around you. Livingston illustrates with the following example. At a baseball game, he wants to order a beer. The stadium has developed an app, so instead of having to stand in line and risk missing any of the action, all he has to do is go to the App Store, search for the app, put in his password, wait for the download, create an account, enter his credit card info, then order his beer. As he recounts all of these steps, he realizes that this is no more convenient than leaving his seat and standing in line for the beer. What if, he wonders, he could simply chat with the stadium to order his beer in the messaging app that he already uses? This is where Kik is headed. In this scenario, Livingston sees a sticker on the chair ahead of him. Want a beer? Chat with us. On the sticker there's a chat code. Livingston unlocks his phone, opens his chat app, scans the code, and is immediately interacting with the stadium to place his order. It's easy as that. But of course, isn't this what QR codes do? And nobody uses QR codes, right? Livingston addresses this. He explains, QR codes uniformly delivered a poor user experience. Think of the last one you scanned, if you ever did. Likely you were directed to a slow-loading website that you had to dig through to get to what you want. The chat code option keeps your interaction with the real world in the interface of the chat app that you're already familiar with. This all might seem too simple, Livingston says, but to us, that's the beauty of bots. They can reduce friction to as close to zero as computing allows. Another important takeaway from Livingston's example is to consider the slow death of apps. Gartner backs up this claim by predicting, by 2019, 20% of brands will abandon their mobile apps. There's too much friction in having to download a new app and create a new profile for every new shopping, banking, healthcare, travel, or education experience. As Gartner puts it, app stores are crowded, and the cost of application support in not only maintenance, upgrades, and customer support, but also marketing to drive downloads exceeds original ROI calculations. The mobile web will become more app-like, and Gartner suggests that Apple will eventually embrace the mobile web as a vehicle for customer engagement. Before your organization considers developing a mobile app, you should first consider the much more cost-effective approach suggested by Livingston and develop a chatbot for an already existing ecosystem. More on how to do that shortly. I'd like now to share a story about Xiaowise, a bot Microsoft developed for its Chinese market. You may remember the 2013 Academy Award-winning film Her, written and directed by Spike Jonze. The film centers around a lovelorn introvert played by Joaquin Phoenix who becomes intimate with a talking operating system, OS, named Samantha. The film is often rightly categorized as science fiction, but many of the film's themes are playing out in real life. As Joseph Weizenbaum found, when users started interacting with Eliza, our human desire for connection, intimacy, and empathy can in fact be satisfied by machines. In China, Microsoft has developed an empathetic chatbot, and how users have responded has surprised them as much as Eliza surprised Weizenbaum. Xiaoice, or Little Bing more literally, Microsoft Little Ice, is a natural language chatbot that Microsoft developed to engage users on Weibo, a Chinese microblogging platform akin to Twitter. Xiaoice replicates the personality of a 17-year-old girl, and in contrast to typical chatbots, she opposes users, offers independent opinions and conclusions, works to demonstrate caring, and is unpredictable, not always offering the same response to the same input. Here you can see an example of a conversation with Xiaoice, translated on the right. You can see she gives odd and unexpected responses, which makes people want to return for more. Like many of her chatbot predecessors, Xiaoice passes the Turing test. Users can't differentiate her responses from those of an actual human. Her spirited personality and balance of IQ, intelligence, and EQ, emotional intelligence, has won over more than 40 million registered users who engage in daily conversations with her that can last more than 26 turns. To return to a key takeaway from earlier in the presentation, by 2020, the average person will have more conversations with bots than with their spouse. It becomes clear that humans are more than willing to engage with chatbots beyond the superficial to fill deep personal emotional needs. Illustrating this is the finding that of Xiaoice's 40 million users, 25%, that's 10 million users, have messaged her to say, "I love you." Clearly, the 2013 film Her is no longer science fiction, but the reality many are living today. Let's now look at a few organizations that are already using chatbots. And perhaps we'll order some flowers, plan a trip, and maybe even get tacos for lunch. A key takeaway here from Facebook. We're trying to make the customer service experience more human. It's easier to chat and text than sit on the phone. We've discussed the evolution of chatbots from Eliza to Xiaoice and considered Ted Livingston's proposed convergence of the real world with our messaging apps. Let's now consider how some organizations are already deploying a chatbot army to open new channels of engagement while keeping costs well below those of developing, deploying, and maintaining traditional mobile applications. When Facebook announced that it was opening Facebook Messenger for developers to build chatbots, the example that Mark Zuckerberg used was 1-800-Flowers, which you can see here. He remarked, "It's pretty ironic to order from 1-800-Flowers. You never have to call 1-800-Flowers again." The company developed a linear chatbot, not allowing free-form conversation like Xiaoice, that allows users of Facebook Messenger to ask it to place an order or connect with a human customer service rep. After a couple of months of use, Chris McCann, the president of 1-800-Flowers, reported that 70% of the chatbot's orders were from new customers, and they skewed younger than their typical audience. He stated to his surprise that most customers, especially millennials, would rather interact with a robot than a human. Another early entry into Facebook Messenger's chatbot ecosystem was hotel booking site Expedia. Proving that customers may engage with chatbots for more considered purchases than flowers, the Expedia chatbot works more efficiently than either their website or mobile app channel. To engage, users simply compose a new message within Messenger to @Expedia. From there, the bot will ask a few questions regarding the destination, city, and date, and then will reply with booking options right within the Messenger interface. And of course, Facebook Messenger is not the only chatbot ecosystem in town. Several organizations have found success on their workforce messaging application Slack. Taco Bell developed a chatbot, appropriately named TacoBot, that with a series of a few simple commands allows teams and individual workers to order tacos at their local Taco Bell. As Perna Verji shared at her Inbound 2017 presentation, Taco Bell's investment in the chatbot's development was a mere $40,000. That nominal investment has yielded more than $10 million in workplace taco orders to date. I have to repeat that. A $40,000 investment returned more than $10 million in taco orders. Here at SilverTech, our Internet of Things IoT engineer Sean has created several chatbots for Slack which have brought our historic Ash Street Schoolhouse headquarters to life and made our lives easier. One such innovation was his creation of TempBot, a Slack-enabled HVAC controller that we use to control the temperature in each room throughout the building. You can see that I'm asking Chatbot to warm things up a bit, and of course it kindly complies. This key takeaway again. By 2020, customers will manage 85% of their relationship with the enterprise without interacting with a human. Now, let's conclude with some thoughts as to how you can get started with chatbots. Keep this in mind as you do get started. Chatbots are essentially the apps of voice and messaging platforms, defining how people converse with your digital business, services, and data. At this point, it's worth sharing a visualization of the data shared earlier in our presentation regarding the growth of messaging platforms. As of the first quarter of 2017, the big four messaging apps, WhatsApp, Messenger, WeChat, and Viber, have outpaced the global monthly active users for the big four social networking apps, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Now, it's worth recalling your excitement in 2011-12 when you saw the opportunity for your organization to create a Facebook page, Twitter account, or Google Plus page and build a community with which you could share content. And we all know the reality now of social media engagement in 2017. Organic reach has been throttled and social advertising has yet to definitively prove its worth. It's time to channel some of your social effort into engaging with your audience in the messaging platform of their choice. The examples we shared earlier from 1-800-Flowers, Expedia, and Taco Bell prove that developing a chatbot for the business-to-consumer, B2C, or e-commerce space makes sense. If you're struggling to think of how chatbots could benefit your audience, here are 4 practical applications from Gartner. The first, call center help desk. Specialized chatbots can potentially reduce the number of help desk workers by facilitating the handling of routine requests via automated chatbot responses. The second, chat ops approvals. A change in back-end record will trigger an event which can cause a message to be delivered to an enterprise messaging or workflow environment requesting an employee responds to approve, deny, or defer in the app. The third, equipment diagnostic inventory management. When implemented in conjunction with IoT technologies, warehouse workers can be notified when a product's out of stock or if a shipment has arrived at the loading dock that contains out-of-stock items. The fourth, a chatbot scheduling agent. This would require the use of AI and bot-to-bot communication. A chatbot will likely call another bot that uses AI to initiate a messaging stream combined with calendar access in an effort to find open time on multiple calendars. Further, chatbots could be used to turn your physical locations into beacons of engagements like the stadium in Livingston's example. For example, financial institutions could develop a teller bot at the ATM that allows customers to ask questions that go beyond the ATM's capabilities, such as current loan and deposit rates. A hospital could develop a check-in bot that allows you to chat about wait times, ask pre-screening questions, and get health tips. And a university could develop a campus bot that helps students and prospects get around, find out dining hall wait times, and other useful campus info. The possibilities are truly limited only by your imagination. And that's where you should begin. Imagine the myriad ways in which your organization could use a chatbot. If you recall, it only cost Taco Bell $40,000 to generate 10 million in orders. With the right chatbot, perhaps your organization could achieve comparable ROI. Practically though, after you let your imagination run wild, there are steps you can take today to prepare your organization for a chatbot. Even if you don't have access to a team of developers and digital strategists, which is of course where an agency like SilverTech could help, a simple spreadsheet is a good place to start. Connect with your sales team and or customer service team, much like you did as you develop personas, and create a list of the most common questions that your audience asks about your organization. Then, in that same spreadsheet, use a drop-down to list all of the possible answers. This is the logic that your development team will then use to build your chatbot. At Inbound 2017, our partners at HubSpot announced the acquisition of Motion.ai. This acquisition will help HubSpot roll out DIY chatbots in 2018. And you can see from the example that the logic that you outline in your spreadsheet will help you launch bots almost immediately when this type of bot builder DIY technology becomes available. At the presentation, Christopher O'Donnell of HubSpot said, "We see bots evolving much in the way that email marketing evolved into marketing automation." There's a link to watch the full video on HubSpot's YouTube channel in our on-demand presentation. If you already have an FAQ section on your website, you may have already undertaken much of the initial steps to build a bot. An FAQ chatbot is a great way to enter this channel. In fact, Microsoft offers a platform, Q&A Maker, that enables organizations to build, train, and publish simple question and answer bot based on FAQ URLs, structured documents, or editorial content in minutes. Whatever approach you see fit, it's a matter of developing a strategy for how a chatbot could connect with your existing assets to deliver an improved customer experience. As we enter 2018 and head toward a reality in which this approach is the norm, we return to Pernod Virgi's advice. Caution is necessary, avoidance is not. Will your organization enter early and reap the rewards of early adopters like 1-800-Flowers, Expedia, and Taco Bell? Are you bullish on bots, or do you think they'll go the way of QR codes? That concludes today's presentation. I hope you found it informative. Please tune in to the other webinars in our 2020 Future of Marketing webinar series, including artificial intelligence and machine learning, virtual reality and augmented reality, and micro moments. I hope you can also take our 2018 State of Digital Marketing survey, available at silvertech.com. And again, thank you so much for joining us for Chatbots and Conversational Commerce. Are you ready? On behalf of SilverTech, I'm Ian, Content Strategist. Thank you.